everyone, and welcome to Sideshow Live. Woo! We have an excellent show today. We have a special surprise guest. Miss Harley Quinn Smith is here in the studio today, so that is so awesome. She's here to talk about her fandoms, Danger Girl, and just a lot of awesome stuff. So welcome to the studio, Harley. We're so happy to have you. We also are covering on this show the Ultraman Sixth Scale Figure. That is a really cool piece. Like, it has more points of articulation than a normal Sixth Scale figure, and we're going to be able to show them to you here on the show. We also have the Rogue Maquette in the house as well, so that is super exciting. And another special guest that we announced, Mr. Will Harbottle, is here to talk about sculpting the Rogue Maquette and everything that went into her. So that is awesome. Thank you, Will, for being here as well. We have a couple of really awesome things to cover before we get into the meat of our show. So first up, if you guys didn't see Endgame yet, first up you need to. Sideshow is imposing a very strict 2-week spoiler-free zone in our Let Your Geek Sideshow group. However, there is a Let Your Spoiler Sideshow subgroup if you want to talk about Endgame that you can head on over to Facebook and find that if you just can't keep it in for that long. And of course, on our homepage, if you go to sideshow.com, you will see the big Endgame graphic. Click on that. All of our Avengers stuff is there, including new things that Hot Toys has released from Endgame itself, but also all of our Infinity War product, including some of the awesome stuff you can see behind me on set today. So that is really awesome. We also kicked off, today is May 1st, and therefore it is the first day of a month-long event that we call Collectiday May. Collectiday May is super fun. It is a chance to win something every single day if you would like. Today's theme, there's a theme every day. Go to our social media. So that's Sideshow Collectibles on Instagram, Collect Sideshow on Twitter, and Sideshow Collectibles on Facebook. And you can see the calendar of every day, and every day has a theme. You can enter all 31 days. You can pick and choose which days you think would be cool for your collection. But today is the best one. Well, there's a lot of really good stuff. But this is one that everyone can do, and it start with a shelfie. So a shelfie is what you have on your shelf. It's literally that. So just start with a shelfie, follow the rules. It's all on our social. And that way you can participate in Collectiday May. Again, 31 winners in 31 days. It is going to be so much fun. So again, that's at Collect Sideshow on Twitter, Sideshow Collectibles on Facebook and Instagram. We're not exclusive to Instagram for Collectiday May this year. That is the coolest thing, is that we opened it up to everyone. So now it is time for our featured collector. Our featured collector this week is Mr. David Adib. David Adib, wow. Look at that collection. I'm super into your little Avengers. Wow, you have everything covered. You have Star Wars, DC, Marvel, and those are some mechs. I don't know who the... Mazinger? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Wow, that's amazing. I don't even know what that is, but that's really cool. That's a really awesome design. I was like, Voltron? No. Sorry guys, it's out of my area of expertise. But thank you so much, David, for sharing your collection with us. This looks amazing. If you would like to be our next featured collector, you can be featured on the show and in our blog. Just head on over to side.show/blog and click the Apply Now button. We love seeing what you guys collect, even when it's stuff that, we don't know about. So that's really, really cool. I love to see those little things that expand my knowledge of pop culture. So we have our first short video break, and when we come back, we will be talking Danger Girl with Harley Quinn Smith. You are watching Sideshow Live. We'll be right back.
There's just certain aspects that Danger brings up at its most primal form. Fire, sparks, heat, guns, and explosions. I think the uniqueness of what makes Danger Girl special is the spy girl walking a runway with a gun kind of a look. My name is J. Scott Campbell. I'm a comic book artist. Abby Chase is somebody who grew up very curious of the world, and that curiosity seems to propel her into trouble. She exudes a confidence of a runway model, but I think she often kind of gets in these situations where she gets out of it by the skin of her teeth. All the Danger Girls, Abbey Chase, Sydney Savage, Natalia Castle, they kind of have a bit of a sexy sleekness to them that you oftentimes see in a James Bond film. When Sideshow first approached me about doing a premium format Danger Girl, I was very excited. It actually is her 20th anniversary, so it was fun to sort of go like, how do we create a statue that conveys that classic recognizability, but also kind of like gives her a bit of an update. To me, that was always the fun thing, is sort of having a name where the visuals completely and totally followed through with the idea. I mean, it looks so good up close. It's really a stellar statue.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Sideshow Live. If being a geek is something that can be inherited, then our next special guest is definitely a geek and born into it. It is in her blood, so please welcome to the studio, Miss Harley Quinn Smith. Hi, Harley. Hi. I feel like even your name, like you're Harley Quinn Smith, you definitely are born into this community. So how are you?
It would be awkward if I didn't.
I know. You'd
want to be in this community.
Exactly.
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I know you've been here before, but this is your first time back. So how does it feel to be back?
Oh, it's such a happy, amazing environment here. Like everywhere I walk, I'm just like so in awe of everything. Yeah. It's so exciting.
It was so cool. You like walked onto set and we were instantly like talking backwards. We were supposed to be doing a sound check, yeah. and they were like, what are you guys doing? We're like, oh, sorry. Yeah, right.
How could you pay attention when this is behind you?
Exactly. So we love having you, but for those of you who don't know you, in case you don't know who Harley Quinn Smith is, she is an actress and a musician and a friend to animals as well. I read a lot about your charity work with animals, so that's really cool. She performs regularly with her band The 10th and can be seen in the upcoming Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and also the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. And I'm sure a lot of you recognize her because her father is Silent Bob, Kevin Smith, so that's very cool. And so, Harley, I'm sure you talk about your dad a lot when you have to do interviews like this. So we know that he's really well-loved in the geek community. So I really only have one question on the topic, and it's what's something geeky about yourself that you give 100% of the credit to your dad?
Oh, man. I think I truly, even though I don't want to admit it, I think I owe it all to him. The first movie I was ever brought to as a child was Fight Club. So like everything from that to like him playing Liz Phair in Alanis Morissette for me as a kid, like all of that stuff. And then my room from when I was born to still now is just like littered in Harley Quinn stills and everything and Powerpuff Girls, and that's because he forced it upon in the loveliest way. Forced it upon me, and everything that he put into my life as a child has truly like shaped me into the person that I am. So I do kind of my mom is not a geek at all. She's like she loves true crime. She's a geek about true crime.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that's actually like a subset of geekiness yes. that I would actually definitely give her credit for.
Yes, no, that is her thing. But my dad is very much obviously the comic movie arts geek. So I kind of owe it all to him.
That's amazing. So what's something that you think the audience might be surprised to learn about you?
I'm a vegan, just everyone knows that. I talk about it way too much. I actually, lately in the past few years have taken up practicing witchcraft.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's amazing. So like, are you Wiccan or?
Yes.
That's amazing. Wow, I did not know that about you. That's really cool.
I keep it on the down low for the most part.
My sister is a practicing Wiccan also, so like, I kind of get that. That's really cool.
I feel like it goes along with the geek community a little bit. I feel like the two kind of coexist. Yeah.
That's cool. And it also makes sense that because you do a lot of charity work with animals and nature and stuff, and that's very much about being connected to the earth.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's for sure part of it.
That's awesome. So you've been keeping really busy lately, and you've been filming the Jay and Silent Bob reboot, and I'm sure that you can't talk a whole lot about it, but can you tell us a little bit about maybe what the set was like and how fun that was?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a dream. It was so much fun. It's such a blessing to be able to work with your family and to be able to collaborate doing what you love together. So it's just really I can't even describe how lucky I feel to be able to do that. But then on top of that, working with such fun material, I think obviously Jay and Silent Bob is very ridiculous, over the top, a good time.
Yeah.
But this next film is actually quite emotional. I think people will be surprised to see how similar but very different it is from the first film.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I'm just I can't get over the nostalgia value, because for me, that was my high school years and stuff, to kind of date myself and to be really excited that this is about to come back in a really cool way. I'm very excited to see what you guys came up with. So it's really cool.
It's so crazy for sure.
Yeah. So we're all film buffs in this room and in our audience, and we know that you were in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You had filmed that. So what was it like being on a Tarantino set? And I'm sure Brett is geeking out right now because he's a huge Tarantino guy.
Me too. I still don't believe it happened. I've had a Pulp Fiction poster next to my bed since I don't even know how long, since I was in school, and I've looked up to him for so long, and just being able to witness him do his thing was so crazy. I again still feel like it didn't happen. I know it was like a dream, but yeah, I can't wait to see it.
That's so cool. When does it come out again? September? Mm-hmm. I was does Brett know? I was I don't know.
Pretty sure September.
September? Cool. Awesome. That's so cool. So we have a break set in right here, but do you think that it'd be cool if we kept going with some of these questions?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Because I think that we actually showed the Danger Girl video prior to your segment, and this is supposed to be a break for the Danger Girl video. So let's just roll with it.
For sure.
So I did not know that you were such a big fan of the Danger Girl series. So what drew you to it initially?
I mean, what could not draw me? It's such an incredible comic, and it's so cool to see this group of women doing incredibly dope, badass things.
Yeah.
And it's really cool also because they embrace their bodies. I feel like it's a really cool thing that they're not I don't know, they're not afraid to show off. They're very open about their bodies, which is a really important thing for women to see, or really anybody to see.
Yeah.
People accepting their bodies and being open about them, and at the same time they're doing these incredible missions.
Yeah.
And they're just an insane group of fun girls.
And all of them are so different too.
Absolutely.
And so it also shows the diversity that a group of women can have when they come together, and how their skill sets can complement each other as well.
Absolutely.
So cool. So if you had to describe Abbey Chase to someone who had never ever encountered her before, how would you do it?
I mean, I have to say again, just badass. I can't look at her and think anything else. She's such a cool chick, and I mean,
you can even tell with her attitude.
I know.
Right here. She's just standing there she's the coolest girl in the room.
Look at her.
Yeah.
Her stance says it all.
Right.
Her dope hair. We were just talking about
I was
her
going to say,
pants.
you actually have... Yeah, we were just talking about how we want to wear her pants. And
Yes.
you have her haircut right now, so...
Well, I think there's a Danger Girl project
Yeah.
in the works, so just throwing that
Check out
there.
her hair. Look how much she looks like this.
And just a really cool role model. I think just shows how able and willing and cool women can be doing these physical dangerous activities, how it doesn't have to be left to men.
Yeah.
Women are fully capable of doing
Totally.
it themselves.
Oh my God, I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, let's take that soundbite and play it over and over again. So this might be a super loaded question, but what do you think of the premium format figure here?
I mean, I saw it when I came in the first time, and I just immediately was drawn to it. I had to ask Andy, who was showing us around, if I could stop and take a picture with her, because I was so blown away. I think it just truly captures her essence so well, and it's just incredibly realistic. Like, I don't even understand how something could look this real.
And it's like the J. Scott Campbell artwork just came to life.
It truly, it's like looking at the comic, and it's so crazy, and even like this fire going on. It's just such a beautiful piece altogether. I love it. I love it so much.
Well, we're letting you take her home.
I can't wait. It'll be right on my bedside.
That's amazing. Do you have a favorite Danger Girl like story in the comics?
I really like the Batman crossover.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool.
That's really awesome.
And it's just like, I almost wish that they always existed in the Batman universe, so that like they could coexist with all these people. Like, there's just a lot of the times when I've been reading Danger Girl, I've just thought like, oh, how cool would it be to see them fighting against this person from the Batman universe, or this person. And so to see that collaboration is just so cool. It's such two incredible universes coming together.
Oh my God, you're so right. Oh, that makes me want to reread that storyline, because I had totally forgotten that happened.
No, it's awesome.
Oh, wow. So for someone who's never read any Danger Girl comics, what would you recommend for them to pick up at their local comic shop?
I mean, I don't really think you could go wrong, but I would not recommend the game from 2000, because that goes against the origin of the story of Danger. So maybe not that, but I would recommend this first 7-issue run.
Yeah.
Like, I think you really can't go wrong, but that one really sets you up quite well for everything, and it's just such a beautiful run, and 7 is my favorite number. So
perfect. So we have a couple of questions that are coming in from the audience, if you don't mind. Like, there's some live ones. So they're all mentioning the time that Margot Robbie gave you the Harley Quinn prop bat, and how that made you feel.
Yeah, absolutely. So my dad got the bat, and it was right before we went to Sundance. We did a movie together called Yoga Hosers, and it was right before we were bringing Yoga Hosers to Sundance, and that was Yoga Hosers was really the first thing I had ever properly acted in, so it was like I was very new to this world, and to Sundance, everything going on, and my dad gave me this bat to kind of as a symbol, like, don't let anybody get you down, or like, you just don't be afraid to like pave your own way and everything. So he gave it to me like at the night before we left for Sundance, I think, and I lost it.
I was gonna say, I'm about to lose it. Are you kidding me?
There's a photo of me fully just sobbing, like tears running down my body.
Wait, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, my dad got me into geekdom too, so I'm just like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's like such a symbol for you guys as well, and your name. And, like, there's so many layers to it. Wow. Okay. So someone, JJ is asking, have you ever cosplayed as Harley?
I have. For Halloween a few years ago, I wore like the OG bodysuit, and I sometimes just wear it like at Comic Cons.
It's kind of comfortable, and
it's kind of actually quite comfortable.
Yeah, and if no one can recognize you, that's even a little bit better. You can walk through.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm totally cute as Harley. What's up?
Yeah, no, I definitely wear it more than I should.
I totally get that. So what is your most prized collectible?
The bat. I mean, I have the bat literally in a case where nobody can touch it. Where where you can just like see it, but you can't reach it, which is kind of not so nice of me.
No,
but
it's yours. You can do it however you want, girl.
Extremely protective about it. So I literally have it on like a mantle situation.
What was the first comic series that you were introduced to?
The first comic that I ever remember reading was Mad Love. It was that comic. My dad gave my mom that comic while she was pregnant with me, and she was the one who decided like Harley Quinn would be a great name for kids. So after reading Mad Love, she chose my name, and I'm pretty sure if I was a boy, my name was going to be Charlie Quinn, so it was always going to be like some variation of that. And so that comic has always meant a lot to my family, so that I'm pretty sure is like the first comic I ever read.
That's amazing. I love that. So Pop Culture Fate says, Harley, it says on your social that you bake cookies. Do you bake cookies, and which is your favorite to bake?
Do you really?
Yeah, do you,
I wouldn't say it's a
I was like, where did, first off, I did a lot of research on her, and I don't know where it says she bakes cookies. I mean, maybe.
I have.
Yeah.
In the past.
Sure.
Don't think it's a regular activity, but I have for sure.
Sure. Great. Awesome. That's a random question, guys. So great. So this one I have to preface with, you heard we have a 2-week no spoiler for Endgame.
Yes.
Have you seen Endgame? And who is your favorite Avenger? Doesn't necessarily need to be an Endgame.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to really censor myself. I don't want to ruin it for anybody. Yes, I have seen it now twice. 6 hours of my life. I've been sobbing. My favorite, I feel so much pressure to not say anything.
Yeah, I get it. I've had a hard time doing these shows, not being able to say anything.
I'll just say, because everybody knows that the Guardians are in Avengers, so my favorite character is Mantis, because I would just die to have her power.
Oh my god.
I love her so much, and obviously I love Groot. And Rocket. The Guardians are my favorite by far.
That's awesome.
But I'll stop talking about it.
Yeah, there we go. I was like, and we can move on. Joe is asking, did you see the life-size Harley Quinn statue?
I did. That's the first time I came here. I was so lucky to be able to stand next to her. Such a dream. She's so beautiful.
Oh my gosh, I saw a picture of you and your friend and the Harley Quinn life-size almost doing like a Danger Girls situation like together, because the Harley Quinn's like,
yeah.
So you guys kind of did like Charlie's Angels, Danger Girl like mashup. It was a really cool picture you had to show me.
Thank you. We were for sure geeking out a ton.
This is a really good question. Since your father is a filmmaker, did that make you want to set out on your own and make your own mark, or did you want to follow in the path that he set for you?
Really cool question.
Yeah.
For a long time, I had no intentions of acting. I wanted to play bass in a band, which I now also do.
Yeah.
But that was my sole career desires.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
awesome.
wanted to play music.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I did a small scene in my dad's movie Tusk, and he's been putting me in his film since I could not speak, so it's just been kind of a thing that my family does, and Tusk was just supposed to be another one of those experiences. But after shooting that scene, I fell in love with it, and I just wanted to keep going. But now that I do work in the same field as my dad, it's so important to me to make my own path. And although I'm so lucky, and it's such an amazing thing to be able to work with my dad, it's equally important to me that I go and make my own career for myself. And I want to be a filmmaker as well, so I want to make my own things, be in other projects.
That's so cool. Yeah, if you go to your IMDb page, you'll see that Harley has done so much that her dad has not been involved in. It's cool. Like it's really cool to be able to have that family thing to come back to.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you can definitely see how you are paving your own way through this career. It's very cool.
Thank you.
Speaking of that, you also are a musician in your own right, and you have your band, The 10th. If you guys would like to follow The 10th, there's the social tag at the bottom of the screen right now. So you guys like look like you do a full-on performance, like with wigs and like everything. And how did you guys get together and form that?
It started between my bandmate Taylor Blackwell and I. We decided to go to this show together on February 10th of 2008. And 2018. I was 9 in 2000. In 2018. But at the same time, I was going out for this TV show that Carrie Brownstein was doing. That was loosely based on her memoir, Hunger Makes Me a Modern Girl, and I just fell in love. I stopped playing bass for a while. I've been playing bass since I was 12, but I stopped playing for a while, and then when I went out for the show, my interest in music just like completely came running back, and I just fell in love with it. And so I was already really in that music mindset, auditioning for her show. And then when Taylor and I went to go see the show one night, we were already kind of in that mindset, and we were both just like, we should do this. Why aren't we doing this?
That's amazing.
And we're both just really passionate about getting our work out there. So we were just like, by a year from today, we need to have an album out. And February 10th of this year, we released our first album. So.
That's amazing. Congratulations. That's so cool.
Thank you.
Is there a place that people can find it? Like
Yeah.
it's on iTunes or?
Absolutely. We have an EP called Boys We Don't Know and album Dunes that are they're both on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, kind of
cool.
anywhere, Bandcamp, anywhere you listen to music.
Amazing. That's so cool. I love it so much. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you can answer this question.
Okay.
So I'm sure Harley has met many movie stars and grown up with many famous people. Does she have any embarrassing stories about meeting one?
Oh, I absolutely. Oh my god.
Again, feel free to say no.
Oh my god, no. I get so like I don't really get starstruck at all. Like
I mean, when your dad's Kevin Smith.
I feel really bad going up to actors or musicians because it's just I don't know. I don't want to bother them, but I did go. I mean, there are many embarrassing stories, but this is just the most recent. I was at the Endgame premiere, and where every single famous person in the world.
I was gonna say, wow.
It was very overwhelming, and I kept seeing people pass by, and I was like, oh my god, just keep it inside, like just calm down. But then I saw Taika Waititi, and then I just was like, I don't know why, but I was so starstruck by him that because I've also been watching his show What We Do in the Shadows, and like
I love it
I'm
so obsessed with it.
I absolutely love his show, and I just absolutely love him, and I lost it. Like I ran away. I was just like, I don't even know what to do. I was thinking about it. I didn't know what to do. I never do this, but I really creepily like took a photo of him from a distance, and I like zoomed in, and I was like, I just need to remember this moment. And the picture is him like doing an interview, and he looks so like dapper because he's like in his purple suit, and he's just like talking to the person like that, and it's so awesome. But yeah, no, I ran away, so I did not say hello.
Someday that's going to be a really excellent story because he'll be directing you, and you'll like be in promo and be like, hey, I almost met you at Endgame.
Yes,
but yeah.
I also ran away from Michael B. Jordan because he's my #1 crush, and I saw him at an Oscars party where so many people from Black Panther were, and I was like, I can't do this. And I also ran away. I need to stop running away.
But you're going to be working with all of them eventually,
That's-
so you'll have these really funny stories.
That's the goal.
Sure. Oh my gosh, Harley, it's been so wonderful to have you here. You guys, I can't wait to have you back. We're already talking like cosplays to do together
I
when we
can't
come
wait.
back. It's going to be so fun. So thank you so much for talking Danger Girl, talking your fandom. It's been so wonderful to have you. You guys keep on the lookout for Harley Quinn Smith in the 10th band, as well as follow her on her social tags. You can see her Instagram and her band's Instagram at the bottom. And again, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood comes out later.
July.
July!
Not to mix up with Borderlands.
Oh, July! Whoa!
I knew that, but I didn't know if I could say it. So
Oh,
I was
okay,
like,
cool. Well, if it's on the
I was
internet.
like, I'm just gonna sit here.
See, but that's good. You know that you can trust you with all this secret information. You
Yes.
didn't spoil Endgame. You didn't.
I'm trustworthy, I swear.
So thank you so much. July, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
July 26th.
All right.
A month after my birthday.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here. You guys, we have a short break, and when we come back, we'll have Ultraman. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be right back. Sideshow Live. How cool was Harley Quinn Smith, by the way? She was amazing. I'm super stoked on that. So right now we have our Ultraman Sixth Scale figure. This is by Threezero Collectibles, and this guy is super rad and super posable. So he's about 12 inches tall. So, you know, a normal 6 scale figure. His original body was made just for this piece by Threezero, and it has over 40 points of articulation. Now, I didn't pose him, but Challenger, who's sitting in our booth right now, is the one that did. And it's stuff like, let's see if you can get in on this. This boot in the back, like, look at that, the way that lift off, that point on the ball of his foot, that's another point of articulation that doesn't usually exist on 6 scale figures, but Ultraman managed to get him. He has a newly designed paint application as well as suit decals. He has an LED light up function that includes the eyes, the color timer on his chest. Let's make sure that you can see that while I'm talking about it, as well as the Spectrum blade on his arms. His accessories come with the Spectrum blades and 4 interchangeable sets of hands, including a pair of relaxed hands, a pair of spread hands, a pair of fists, a pair of shooting, and then a pair of shooting pose hands. He requires cell button batteries, but they are not included with him, so you're gonna have to go make sure that you have a set while you get him. Now, this is one of the first looks at this figure. You'll see on our website, if you go to side.show/Ultraman, I believe he's still on pre-order status. However, he is shipping super soon, so you're gonna wanna pick him up in your collection. Now, there was an Ultraman series that just dropped on Netflix, and I've heard that it's pretty rad. I was like, I feel like Sam has probably watched it, so I'm gonna do a call out to Sam in the booth.
Not yet. I'm still in the middle of a Kamen Rider series, but yes.
Okay.
Ultraman has been recommended to me by like at least 20 people.
Okay, so Ultraman has been recommended to Sam by at least 20 people, which is something to be said because Sam is like the mech guy, among other things. What?
Basically.
Oh, he said basically. I was like, yeah, among other things, Sam's our mech guy. Basically, yeah, the mech guy. So you guys are gonna definitely wanna pick up this Ultraman in your collection. Head on over to side.show/Ultraman. He is shipping super soon. And again, 40 points of articulation on the 6 scale body. I like kind of wanna figure out where all of them are now. Anyway, so that's it for Ultraman, and you guys know what time it is. I didn't do the song, but that's okay. Right now it is the Let Your Kid Sideshow segment. We had super awesome gauntlets that were shown for us last week. That was the way that you won the Thanos from Iron Studios, that 10th scale statue. And I believe we have a slideshow of some of the amazing gauntlets. We do. Wow. Now the whole point of this was to make it out of found items inside your home. Aw, Bunny. That bunny's gonna just turn everything into like poof. Anyway. Ooh. Wow.
I think those are Jolly Ranchers.
Oh my God, those are Jolly Ranchers. This one was crazy to the point where I couldn't figure, are those like K-cups? I don't know, but thank you guys so much for playing the Let Your Geek Sideshow challenge from last week, playing with those Infinity Gauntlets for that cobbled cosplay. This week's challenge is the Captain America concept art 6 scale figure. This is based on concept art from Captain America Civil War, done by Ryan Meinerding, who we've had on this show before and is awesomely fun. So he's even talked about this particular cap before. So this week's challenge is to make your own shield. Now this is the cobbled cosplay challenge, which means you have to make your Captain America shield from found items in your home or office. That means you can just put together something, you can paint something, you can draw something, you can put something together, but it has to be from found items in your home or office. Now here's the thing, if you head on over to side.show/LYKS cap, like Let Your Kid Sideshow cap, LYKS cap, there are many, many ways to get small little amounts of entries on this, right? Like listen to our podcasts, join our Facebook group, follow us on all of our social, watch some shows, things like that. Those are all worth small amounts of points. They are entries and they are awesome. But if you really want the big bonus entries, you're going to want to make your own shield because those are 1,000 points a piece. So that's 1,000 points on Facebook if you post it there, 1,000 points on Twitter if you post it there, 1,000 points on Instagram. So that could be 3,000 bonus entries for this Captain America 6th scale figure right here. Now here's the catch. You have to leave the pictures up until next Wednesday, May 8th, in order to get credit for them. So the pictures have to stay up for a week. So you can't just put them up and then take them down and get the bonus entries, because if we click through and can't find your picture, that doesn't count, because we need to show it in the slideshow in order for you to win. Got it? Got it? Good. So that is the Kid Sideshow Challenge. We have one short break, and when we come back, the Rogue Maquette will be here with sculptor Will Harbottle. You're watching Sideshow Live. We'll be right back. Bruce finds Marlin and Dory on their search for Nemo. He is going to a meeting with his fellow sharks who have decided that they are going to live harmoniously without eating and murdering fish.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, until Dory gets a nosebleed and then stuff happens. So, number 3 on the list is Bruce from Finding Nemo. Hello, welcome back to Sideshow Live. We are here with the Rogue Maquette, who is one of the 2 guests that we are featuring right now. We also have lead sculptor Will Harbottle in the house. Hey, Will. How's it going?
Great, awesome.
Good. I'm so glad that you're here. This is your first time in the new studio.
I know, it's pretty impressive.
I know. The last time you were here was what, like Lady Deadpool in the conference room?
Yeah, Dave and I.
Yeah, you and Dave.
Tag team.
Yeah, that was interesting. So, how's it going?
Oh, it's great.
Great.
I'm so happy to be able to finally show her off.
I know. She turned out so amazing. I'm really, really stoked about like just the mechanics that go into her and how, let's just get started. Like,
Totally.
How do you start with a piece like this conceptually? Where did you start?
Yeah, we knew we had done a Rogue that was really popular. Mm-hmm. And so we wanted to do... When we were going to revisit her again, we wanted to do something different, and we knew there was a lot of rabid fans inside our building for Rogue. So we pulled together a round table of. I remember I sent out an email. Who's the biggest Rogue fan? Come show up and let's talk. And so I was really blown away. There was a lot of turnout, and
from way different parts of the company.
Oh, that was
too.
what was so cool.
That was so cool because there was shipping, there was CS, there was like people in the art department, there were people in marketing. Like we were all. I was one of the people who showed up, and we all though almost unanimously decided on one particular thing that this piece had to have.
I remember,
and that was she had to fly.
Yeah. There we were with the difficulty, but
yeah.
I mean, people showed up they had done their homework. People brought tons of reference, and I remember Alfred did a little mock-up, a little clay mock-up of the thing, and so I was really blown away by how much people were invested in her.
Yeah.
And another thing I learned from that was I'm a little older than most of the people that work here, and the '90s cartoon was unanimous. Everybody was.
Oh yeah.
That's where everybody knew her from, and
she was like a powerhouse in that '90s cartoon.
Yeah.
So she had to fly, and she had to have the hair.
Yeah.
So this is the exclusive right now on her. Is you need to get her now in order to get this exclusive because you want the hair, right?
When I was sculpting her,
Yeah.
when I was sculpting her, I had to reference 80s hair metal. So I have all these awesome pictures of these dudes and ladies in this crazy.
Because if you think about it, also if you look at the hair, she has like the headband that's very 80s metal. You know? She was in a band. She for sure was in a band. Between her and Gambit, those are some two rock stars right there. Anyway.
So when we knew she had to fly, that's one thing that we really wanted to do.
So I guess the next step is how do you make her fly?
That's the trick. And how do you make her look like she's flying? I mean, we've done it before, and it's been really, it's worked well. But where they're supported by their leg or whatever, and Alfred, if you remember his little maquette that he brought, she was flying supported by her arms.
Yes.
Yeah, both arms. She was like breaking through something.
She was breaking through something and holding it open.
And that just blew my mind. I was like, holy cow. If you see her legs hanging, I don't know if you can see.
You definitely can see her legs hanging right here.
I was like, well, if we could somehow figure out how to hang her from one arm, now she's really flying. Because there will be an illusion there. She's defying gravity. I mean, it absolutely, you really can, it's hard to tell in pictures, but in person, she looks like she's flying.
Oh, you can tell in this turnaround right here. Like you can turn her around and like not touch my hand. Like she just flew over my wrist right there.
Yeah. And behind it's like all. So it was kind of a fortuitous moment. We happened to be working with an outside company who can print in metal. Right, and I was like, if we had a metal arm. Like, if her arm were metal, well, we solve our problem because she's not going to fall. I mean, it's, and so we had the prototype. I don't know if you. I brought a little show and tell.
The show and tell, which is this.
So you can see the green. That's her arm, and that's solid metal going all the way out into deep into her body, and then to hold up her weight off the ground. Inside is a really large metal rod that had to be bent 5 times to wind its way up through this thing. But that's how we did it, and
you can actually see.
Yeah, if you would take her out.
If you want to take her off.
The key is huge.
The key is huge.
Yeah, it's
solid metal.
Yeah.
Right there.
And that again, her whole arm.
The whole arm is metal.
Metal. Yeah.
You can hear it like ding.
So that's the trick, and then of course, it's metal on metal.
While I'm swapping things, let's take her 80s hairband look.
Her arm metal keys into
metal.
Yeah, metal. So you're like basically.
Yeah. So she's totally metal, guys.
Hence the hair.
Yeah.
So that was we really wanted. We call it around here a gag. Like the gag was she's gotta fly.
Yeah.
You have to believe that she's defying gravity and flying, and that's what we
I feel
came up
like
with, so.
Our advances in like premium format tech have almost been working to making Rogue fly specifically. Like if you think about it, like the amazing Spider-Man premium format, that also has a metal a metal support as well, because we were trying to go for longevity with these things. Like Iron Man Extremis has a metal rod that runs through from his base into his leg as well. So we've all been working towards the ability to make Rogue fly. That's what I feel like.
I got a lot of looks when we were pitching this idea. Like, I don't know, but Sideshow, everybody here was super supportive all the way up to the top. At the company, everybody was, let's do this. Let's make her fly. And that's really awesome. I to be honest with you, I was expecting that would be a harder sell than it was, but everybody was so stoked to give it a whirl, and it absolutely worked.
So how long did she take to sculpt?
She was. It's hard for me because my responsibilities are more than just the sculpting, because I'm sort of working with a lot of the projects and a lot of the other sculptors and stuff. But I would say she was, and she's more complicated.
Yeah.
Probably about 3 months.
Oh,
That's
wow.
the longer.
Yeah, that is a longer run on a sculpt for her.
Yeah.
And then once you have something like, because I assume making her fly in a digital sculpt is a whole lot different than trying to make her fly in the real world. So how do you make sure that, you know, she's balanced correctly or things like that? So how do you translate a digital sculpt into the real world without, you know, having to completely make a piece?
A lot of it is experience. I mean, when you were showing the Ultraman here, I was watching. That's the world I came from, was action figures.
Okay.
So engineering things is how I started.
Wow.
A couple of people and I were the first ones to digitally sculpt action figures. We were like, this is going back a million years. And so we had to learn how to make everything work. And we really took pride in making everything work. So that helped. Shout out to Dad. My dad's an engineer. So I think about this stuff a lot. As soon as we had that meeting and we knew we were going to try something special in making her fly, I remember walking out of that meeting and going and talking to our production people. Okay, how can we do this? Like, what do we need to be thinking about from day one? And nice wide base, lot of volume to get the giant key, that because this whole piece comes out of the ground, so that's another big metal key. A lot of discussions, but with people who have tons of experience having things produced. So we had a million meetings and conversations and discussions and trying things out. We have the ability to print things as test versions. So we can print up a scale version or a full-size version to see, are we confident with her eye line?
Yeah.
You know, is she going to be looking at you properly? Is it going to be balanced properly? In the real world, what sizes are we talking about? Is there enough enough room to get the kind of armatures inside there that we need and all that kind of stuff? So it's a lot of trial and error, and hence it takes a while to
I know,
to do the whole
but still, that's fantastic. Now, just a couple little pieces for you all out there who are maybe thinking of ordering this Rogue at side.show/AnnaMarie. These things, like all of the little wire pieces on here, are completely posable. So however you want to make her rip out this buzzsaw from the danger room, you can. These screws are, again, removable parts that you can pull out. And like Will mentioned before, this base is one giant piece that keys in to the flat piece of the danger room. So you have the metal buzzsaw that comes all the way up, as well as then the metal arm that then keys into the buzzsaw on Rogue herself. So she's about 22 inches tall when all is said and done. About, a good 10 is the hair. Just kidding. Obviously. This is a Danger Room themed base. We are showing her with her exclusive 90s hair swap out portrait. The jacket is fabric, but it does not come off. And that was something that a decision was made in production to make the jacket stay on the whole time, because otherwise you would have to you'd have to have a different pose, because the jacket cannot come off as is and also have her fly.
Yeah, we couldn't have the metal arm because you couldn't.
Yeah, exactly. So again, we wanted her to fly. And we did. We all unanimously wanted her to fly. So that actually answers one of the questions from our live audience, that is, can you show her with her jacket off? No, we can't, because the jacket is not removable. Michael Lampkin wants to know, since flight poses are often more difficult in terms of balance, how many trial and errors do you think we went through before you guys kind of nailed it?
It wasn't like, here's version A, that didn't work, here's version B. It was sort of a process of tweaking, and so it's hard to say. I mean, it went on for a while, and there were a few major changes, and then lots of little tweaks.
Okay, that makes sense.
But it was really early on. I mean, basically coming out of that meeting, that we knew one arm was what I was shooting for.
All right.
I was trying to avoid at all costs having to have anything else touch the other hand, a foot or leg or something like that, and so that was sort of the trick.
That's amazing, man.
Who's she gonna throw that at? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's what I want to know too. Yeah, someone's actually asking. We can't talk about any future projects, guys. They're like asking, like, will Rogue have a boyfriend that she can pair up with? Well, we don't know. We can't talk about that. That's not a thing. Remember? Hey, camera, right here. Remember? No announcements. We do this all the time. Where's my GIF, Sam? That GIF needs to be... Not an announcement. There's no announcements happening right now. Anyway.
If Dave were here, he would.
Yeah, if Dave were here, Dave can just blurt out anything he wants, apparently. So, yeah. Wow. Okay. So most of the questions I think you've answered regarding they're very worried about the whole. It's a metal arm, and we understand the concern. I mean, over time things can lean and stuff like that, but we sculpted everything and cast everything in the metal to ensure the longevity of the piece.
And it's huge inside. I mean, the metal.
The metal
that runs
again.
down there,
If you want to take another look at what it looks like on the interior, the metal goes all the way down into the Danger Room themed base. Yeah. And someone's asking if there's a color difference between the non-metal arm and the metal arm. I mean, if there is, I can't see one.
I was, when I saw the production versions of it, I was just blown away that we didn't lose anything. I mean, I want to do everything in metal.
Now she wants fully metal sculpts of everything.
Because it's beautiful what they can do. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible, and it definitely opens up some doors.
Ooh, I like that shot. Like, look at that monitor shot right there.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
So now we have a couple of more personal questions for you as a sculptor. Hey, Will, what is the longest you have ever spent on a single sculpt?
That's probably my arch nemesis, Voltron. No, that was absolutely a fabulous project. But I again, I'm a little older for that, and I didn't grow up with Voltron, but Dave did, and Dave was like, "Do you want to do Voltron?" I was like, "I don't know much about it. It's cat robots,
To be fair, I am Dave's age. We're the same age. So, I know nothing about Voltron. Okay, so to the point where he had to come on the show and was like, "They're lions, Susan." Oh. And I was like, didn't know.
Yeah.
So
anyway, and then it got to the point where he said, as a personal favor to me, like, "Will you do?" And I was like, okay. But so did all this research and watching stuff, and worked with great designer JP Mavinga, and but that thing is nuts. I mean, we actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but we built all the interior of that thing.
Yeah.
All those panels up until the point of shipping, we had planned for the customer to take all those off.
Yeah, we've talked about on the show with JP before how many pieces there actually were when all was said and done.
It was impractical to have it actually be...
And it would have cost...
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it would have doubled the cost or something like that. And I was like, but yeah, it's all sculpted underneath all those plates, and so that took forever. And getting it to look like it works is I love doing that kind of stuff, but I'm not the quickest at it. So
that was definitely...
That was probably like over 4 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Will, if you had free reign, what would your next project be? Again...
Not an announcement.
Not an announcement. Whatever he says is not announcing anything.
I can tell you that the last 2 things I've just worked on really ticked a few things off my list. One of them was announced, the female one that just got painted. We've shown a teaser shot of her. Can I say her name?
Oh, during 12 days?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we announced her during 12 days.
So
if it's on the site, you're right.
Yeah.
Deja Thoris.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure we're talking the same one.
No, I grew up. I saw Star Wars in the theater when I was 10, and came home and totally changed my life. And I came home and I was like, I need more of that. And back then there was no internet and there was no, Netflix or whatever. So I got into reading and found the John Carter books and read every single one cover to cover.
Yeah.
All 17 books
That's
or whatever.
amazing.
Yeah. I cried when I turned the last page of the last, because I realized I'm 12 years old. That's it. There's no more. These were written 100 years ago. There'll never be another word of this written. It just hit me, and I still remember that moment, sitting there on my couch going, oh my God, it's all done. No, like there has to be more.
Oh no! So sculpting Deja Thoris was definitely
Yes,
like a dream
absolutely,
of yours realized.
Yeah. I sort of pitched the idea, and again, everybody was so supportive. I love that about Sideshow is you can be as harebrained as you can imagine, and there's other people that are just as harebrained as you are.
Yeah, do it.
Let's do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so fantastic, man. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Will, what is your favorite snack while you're sculpting?
I'm addicted to pretzel nuggets. Every single day for 10 years, I eat pretzel nuggets. Yeah.
Like, but like filled with peanut butter?
No, God, no.
Oh.
No.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry, what are pretzel
same
nuggets?
Same kind of shape, but just like, because
just pretzel nuggets.
They're like low fat, they're salty, you can eat 1 million of them and like, whatever, and it's...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever eaten a pretzel nugget.
Stop by my cube.
Okay, I was gonna say, wow.
Think of the peanut butter ones, it's all fattening and bad for you and stuff.
Still tastes amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have playlists for different characters while you're sculpting them?
I do. Who asked these questions? That's a good one.
That's a really good question.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
And if so, what was Rogue's? What was on Rogue's?
I'm trying to think. I'm super into old soundtrack music, like 60s Italian stuff. Danger Diabolic. Ennio Morricone did the music of that. I know, right? I mean,
That movie.
oh, the soundtrack of that is deadly. And there's all that era of that, like, sort of go-go Italian stuff. I listen to that all the time. And then I got my, like, all kinds of stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I go through waves of, I have every single, up to Man with a Golden Gun, every soundtrack, and not just the theme songs of the James Bond, all the ambient background music.
Okay.
It's like 30 hours long or something like that. So I listen to that, just start at Dr. No and just go right on through for 30 hours.
Jeez, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy. People are just they're elaborating on their questions for snacks and things like that. So they're asking more specifics.
That's it on snacks. No more snacks.
We're no more snacks. We got it. They're pretzel nuggets.
Pretzel nuggets.
Pretzel nuggets.
Sourdough
Pretzel nuggets specifically. That's the snack of sculpting champions right here.
Yeah. Kat comes home with every week. She doesn't have to ask anymore because I do the dishes. She does the grocery shopping and bag of pretzel nuggets every week. Boom.
Yeah.
I'll burn through one of those 1 pound bags a week. Yeah, see?
Wow.
Representing.
I like that you just like threw out Kat, who has been on our show before, who's one of our paint managers, is Will's wife. So that is a pretty cool little Sideshow fam type story.
Yeah, she my favorite painter, of course, and, painted Rogue.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, and she also painted Deja Thoris.
Yeah. Which I want to show.
No, you can't show. You can't do it yet.
She looks great. Yeah,
you.
I'm not announcing anything. Other than that, she just got finished painting yesterday, and
stunning.
I know, it blew my mind. I was like,
Oh
wow,
my
that's
God.
really.
Yeah, Kat, I make Kat nervous because she has the paint station by the door, and so whatever she's painting, I tend to like run at because I get really excited about it, and I'm like, ah! And I like run, and she's like, Susan, really? And I'm like, oops. That is amazing. Will, thank you so much for being on the show. This has been a great show, you guys. We did so much on this. It's only been an hour, by the way. So much in 1 hour. We have had Will Harbottle talking mechanics of Rogue, like all the way down to metal arms and stuff. We had the Ultraman Sixth Scale Figure on the show. We had Harley Quinn Smith and talk Danger Girl on this show. We had a Let Your Kids Sideshow segment. We also are like just starting off Collectiday May, so be sure to start with us start with a shelfie. That's also a very tongue twistery thing to start with, by the way. Start with a shelfie and submit that. It's happening all over our social media. Be sure to follow us across our social media. That's Sideshow Collectibles on Instagram, at Collect Sideshow on Twitter, and Sideshow Collectibles on Facebook. Join our Facebook group, Let Your Geek Sideshow. If you can't keep from spoilers, we have 2 separate subgroups for spoilers, a Game of Thrones one and an Endgame one. So go to Let Your Spoiler Sideshow groups on Facebook as well. So you guys, thank you so much for watching. On Friday, we have a Court of the Dead stream. Next Tuesday, we have Sideshow and Tell. And next Wednesday, we are back with Sideshow Live. Same bat time, same bat channel, all here on YouTube. We have mini casual unboxings happening all across social media. I know, right? Woo! So it's so much fun. We have so much going on, you guys. So again, thank you all for watching. And don't forget to let your geek side show. Bye, guys!